Hi, this is Sis, and you're watching Kickstart the Week. And I'm here with Gerry Huntman, and we're here to talk about The Human Fly versus Dracula Kickstarter. So, Gerry, Human Fly versus Dracula. This is a crazy idea. Walk us through the concept.
Okay, it's a long story, but I will try to make it short. The We had a long affiliation with the Human Fly International, which are the franchise owners of the
Yep.
Human Fly. And I should begin by saying that the Human Fly was originally a real person, or
Yes.
possibly people, because he was always masked. And so, therefore, there was rumor that maybe more than one person was behind that mask. This is back in
How
the
cool is that?
1970s. Yeah, it's fascinating. He was a Canadian stuntman. He tried to out Knievel Knievel, for those who remember or
Oh,
know
okay.
about Knievel, and did some pretty astonishing things that got international news. And in fact, he got so famous that Marvel actually ran a couple of years of comics with sort of ground level, sort of superhero type adventures
Mm-hmm.
where he met Spider-Man, and that's what Marvel could do.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Um, so I mean, that's the origin of it. And so where it came from was that Chris Sakira, who's my director and of comics and graphic novels, he
Mm-hmm.
knew those people and got involved with some projects 10 or plus years ago.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
really thought, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's make him something a little bit different. Let's make the Human Fly a little bit different, but at the same time, get all the good stuff from the original concept.
Of course.
So that's the origin. We teamed up with Human Fly International, who are the franchise owners, and we even last year we put out 5 comics with the Human Fly, and that was sort of an interim, an in between
Oh,
stage where we wanted people to be reintroduced to a modern Human Fly
yep.
plus other characters, and now this Kickstarter is the real engine, right? It's the real McCoy now,
Yeah.
where we get some stuff happening. Yeah,
It sounds so cool. It just
yeah.
sounds so cool.
Hmm.
Um, so Oh well. Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't let you walk the part through where there's Dracula.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got so excited about the Human Fly.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So did I. So did I.
yeah. Well, look. I mean, the thing is that we. Oh, this will probably cover off maybe some other things you want to ask me later, but I'll come in early. Um, the Human Fly uh, is a ground level Daredevil style superhero. It doesn't
Yep.
have necessarily superpowers, but he's sort of like half, you know, his body replacement with metal and this, that, and the other, and he's considered almost indestructible. Hence, like the original Evil Knievel style stuntman.
Yep.
And But what we wanted to do was we wanted to get away from superhero a little bit and go
Mm-hmm.
towards other areas of what we would call speculative fiction, sort of fantasy and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
okay.
so we there were 2 levels to that. The first level was what can we make more mysterious and interesting about the Human Fly, and we actually talked to the franchise owners about that. And they were very excited and worked closely with us on this. We had this idea that the Human Fly was not just one person, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean like one person or a couple of people behind the mask in the 1970s. I'm talking about multi-generational. It goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, where
Oh,
there's
wow.
been successive human flies, and and they've got their own little mysterious stuff happening behind the scenes. Why is it? I mean, is the guy who's an athletic guy in the 1970s? Is he the same guy in 2025, or is it a successor? We don't know, or should I
Ah,
say, the
nice.
reader
A
doesn't know.
mystery.
And so therefore there are generations, but and maybe they can die too. But the point is that there always seems to be a human fly.
Yep.
So that was the human fly side of it. Now, in terms of the Dracula side of it, we had a long thought about this and said if we ran a story that ran over multiple generations or at least multiple time periods,
Yep.
what would be a really good foe to have? And it just and look, it wasn't my idea. I mean, it was Jim Kruger, who's the script writer. He was a
Hmm.
big part of this idea,
Oh,
um,
okay. Cool.
and the idea was that hey, we will have multiple human flies in roughly four different time frames, but the same antagonist will run all the way through. And Dracula is the perfect
That is, yes.
character for that.
Yep.
Um, and Yeah, so that's it. That's the reason why Dracula's chosen. And look, we think that Dracula is iconic. Marvel had a couple of fantastic comics back in the 70s and 80s. Tomb of Dracula, and oh, they were great. I read them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but no, we wanted a different take. We wanted something doesn't break apart the image of Dracula, but presents Dracula in a slightly different uh, setting or set of settings.
Yep, yep, yep.
And it just so happens that Dracula really hates the human fly's guts.
I love it. I love it.
Mm.
And you're right. You've answered like the next three questions.
It's okay.
So, so uh, you've got a grounded real life hero
Yep,
and a supernatural horror. How
yep.
do you keep it balanced?
Well, I think that it's about trying to lift the human fly into a level that makes him a viable champion against supernatural evil, and that's how it will balance.
Oh, that's so
Now,
cool.
yeah, I mean, if you think about some of the non-stupendous, superpowered superheroes, like the Daredevils and what have you,
Mm-hmm.
what you've got is you've got Black Widow's another example.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, what you've got is you've got someone whose training and whose mental discipline, the never say die discipline, is so powerful that they can overcome a big hunk of the pitfalls associated with fighting the supernatural. Um,
I
I
like
mean, I
that.
mean, maybe an example of that would be in the original Bram Stoker's Dracula, where you've got Van Helsing, right?
Yep.
I mean, he's a super smart dude. I think he's a Dutch dude. Just so happened to know the supernatural law so well that he's got the tools. He knows the tools. He knows the techniques, and
Yep.
so he becomes so instead of becoming just an easy victim for Dracula, he becomes a true enemy of Dracula's.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm not at all. That's where the parallel stops. But I mean, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sort of
Of course, of
parallel
course.
I'm thinking of. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
that's.
really where it's at. Yeah. Mm.
I like it. I like it. I'm very excited now. Now that I've heard this, so yeah,
Oh, no,
sounds
look,
really
we've read the
cool.
scripts. We're excited.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So oh well. Oh, sorry. I'm going all over the shop now because you're answering
That's okay.
questions all over the shop. Jim Kruger is a big deal. How did that collaboration come about?
Well, again, it's probably mostly thanks to Chris Sakira.
Good old Chris.
A lot of people don't. Maybe some people who are watching this podcast that won't know it. But I mean, Chris Sakira is an Australian. He's been around a while. Um, what a lot of people may not know is that Chris Sakira has written for DC, written for Marvel, written
Yep.
for IDW. The guy knows the industry backwards. In fact, I'll go as far as saying that I've always wanted to go into the comic business, but I needed to have someone of Chris's caliber to be my second in charge.
Yep.
Well, when I say second in charge in the whole company, because we do books as well.
Yep.
But for me to say, hey man, you do your thing. I'll just convince me that it's a good thing, and I'll pay for it. Right, that sort of deal.
That's
And
awesome.
so Chris has got, I mean, he knows Mark Wade, he knows a whole heap of people,
Wow.
and so yeah, he knew Jim Kruger, right? So it was a case of and may I add, Jim Kruger's done stuff for us in the book space.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I didn't know that.
yeah, we've already, like last year we published a, a small book with little creepy stories that for Christmas that he wanted to write, and we published it, and they're really creepy. Um, and so yeah, so we've got a good relationship with Jim, and I think Chris met Jim not too long ago at San Diego Comic Con, or at least in LA. And yeah, and we as soon as Chris came up with the idea of using Jim as the scriptwriter, as soon as he said it to Jim, Jim said, "I'm in. I'll do it."
Oh, wow. That's
Right?
cool.
Because he thought it was a great idea.
Yeah. It is a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm loving this idea because I was a huge fan of the Human Fly when I was a kid.
Mm.
So, because he's a real person who's a superhero, so that was really
Yeah.
cool. And
Yeah.
seeing him go through the ages like this, and seeing different versions, because I'm a huge fan of different versions of characters. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. But anyway, enough about me. You've got a global team here. How do you keep the vision tight without a bit of with them
Yeah.
all separated like that? Without
Well, actually,
going off on their own angles.
well, we got. I mean, this team is fortunately almost 2 parts to it instead of 10, which is
Oh,
helpful.
okay.
Like we've got Jim Kruger, who's the scriptwriter, and he's based in the US, but the entire rest of the creative team are Australian. Uh,
Oh,
so Chris Sakira actually
I had
chose
in
to
my head
become.
that they were all over the place. Don't worry about
No,
me.
no. I mean, like, I'll give you an example of one that is all over the place. We had another Kickstarter that was successful for a comic series called The Matron, which is very 1970s retro slasher type
Oh, okay.
storyline with a bit of feminism built in, and all very interesting. And
Oh,
with that one, we've got two Americans from Texas who write it. We've got an Australia. Sorry, I've got another Texan who's Monica Gallagher, who does the drawing, and then we've got the colorist who's in Greece,
oh, wow. Okay, that's
and we've got a few other people involved as well in Australia. So that one's really all over the place. But
yeah.
in this case, we've got Jim Kruger, who's the scriptwriter. We've got Chris Sakira, based in Sydney, who's the editor.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Peter Lawson, who's a I mean, the guy's been around, but he's done other things, and he's a friggin' genius. He's doing. If anyone just go and visit. Actually, the drawing that you can see there is
Yep.
done by Peter Lawson. Um, yeah, and the rest of the team, they're all uh, Australian.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
So I'm an idiot because I
No, no,
thought.
no, no. But we still have to coordinate. No, we still have to coordinate. And
Yeah, you
sorry,
still
I
have
didn't
to
really.
coordinate because they're all over Australia. Australia's a big place.
Yeah, look, yeah, and look. The short answer is that the way we coordinate is by assigning an editor who doesn't just look at the script and say it's good or it's not good. An editor is like a project manager, right? And they
Yeah.
make sure everything's coordinated. They communicate with everyone. That's the way we do it. We run the business, so that's how we do it. So it
Cool.
wasn't a bad question, mate.
No, I got something mixed up. I don't know
Yeah,
what happened.
yeah, that's right.
Um, I mean, they're still different sides of the planet, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so for someone new to the Human Fly, without giving too much away, what's the vibe of this comic?
Okay, maybe if you don't mind me spending a bit of time on this, I'll talk about
Yeah,
the evolution. I'll talk about the evolution, the
yeah,
true
sure.
evolution of the human fly, and where we wanted it to go. And by doing that, you get a better idea of the vibe that we want in the current crowdfunding
Oh,
campaign.
nice.
If you're
Okay.
okay with that,
Yeah, go
so
for
I'm
your
doing a
life.
bit of talking, sort of. Okay. All right. So as I already said before, the human fly was a real person.
Hmm.
So when Marvel decided to turn him into a super ground-based superhero, that was
Yep.
already a conversion, right? That was a change. So the dude who's a champion for the good for goodness
Yep.
is now suddenly a guy who travels around doing stunts just like the real one, but he's got this persona where when he's not doing his jumps of over buses and uh, putting himself on top of a jumbo jet flying or whatever, which is what he really did do.
Wow.
Um, he's now also a champion for justice, and so he fights the bad dudes.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so that was one big step, and that was what Marvel did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fast forward quite a few years, we decided first to show the human fly in his modern form, so that people can see the transition, and it'll make it easier for the next step, which is this crowdfunding. So there's that middle ground.
Oh,
And so
okay.
what we did was, look, I mean, without trying to belittle great creatives of the past, 1970s storytelling and quality of comic and characterization is not acceptable anymore in
Oh,
comic
yeah, I get what you
form
mean. Yeah.
today. Um, you can get the best of it, but you don't want to get the worst of it with it.
Yeah.
Um, so, for example, we wanted the human fly to just have a little bit more three dimensionality, be more three dimensional.
Yep.
And he's got his own little sort of foibles and what have you. A little bit of that gets shown, not a lot, because that's sort of he's stoic. That's part of
Yep.
his
Yep. Yep.
persona. But like a really good one is that back in the real guy, he had an offsider called Mercury,
No.
and it was a guy. It was a bit of a plump guy too, I think. But he was a, believe it or not, in real life, that guy was maybe related to the mob, and he was definitely there to be a bit like a bodyguard, so fans don't swap,
Oh,
that
wow.
sort of thing. And he had his own little costume and everything. Um, and so
That's
if
good.
you see old footage, you'll see Mercury there. And I think his surname was Mercurio. He was of Italian lineage,
Oh,
and so
okay.
they
That's
called him
very good.
Mercury. So what we did was we said, look, he needs an offsider, right? And we absolutely wanted a female offsider
Yep.
in the modern day. And so we created a new Mercury, and she's sort of like an apprentice to to the human fly. And you could
Mhm.
argue, although the mystery will always be there until something happens, that
Mm.
maybe she becomes the next human fly. You never know, right?
You never know. I like that.
But she's got her own. Oh man, she's got her baggage. There are things about her at the end of issue 4, which is the last of the 5 issues. Believe it or not, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the end of issue 4, there's some real questions about her, right? What her
Oh,
motives are and everything. So that was left hanging. And so, look, three dimensionality, right? We wanted these characters to be a little bit more real and in a modern setting. I mean,
we
in
got
that
to do that
particular.
these days. They can't
Pardon?
just be. You got to do that these days. They can't just be two dimensional. Do
Yeah.
stunts, do superhero stuff, and that's enough. Yeah,
No, yeah. I mean,
you've got to
we
be a lot more
absolutely.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's even even the antagonist in that issues 1 to 4 were has interesting characteristics. So
Cool.
that's what we want. So we moved the human fly. So that transition was moving the human fly from 1970s comic to not to 2020s comic.
Nice.
Right now, the crowdfunding has gone that one extra step,
Oh, and
and
then
we've already covered it, but just to sort of highlight it, if that's the right
yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah.
thing. Um, so what we wanted was, uh, I suppose that's linked closely to IPI as a comic producer. Um, we got people who know superheroes, right? They
Yep.
know them, like Chris and others who've been involved in projects past. But we feel that we are at our best sticking away from pure superhero stories.
Yep.
There's plenty of stuff out there,
Oh
the big
yes.
ones and the big guys particularly.
Mm.
And what we wanted was we wanted stories that were offbeat, supernatural, maybe a bit of horror in some places, maybe a bit of sci-fi fantasy in other places. Historical, we like historical stuff, and we also like doing mashups as well.
Oh,
So
okay. Yep.
Dracula and Human Fly.
Human fly. Yeah. Nice.
And those are the things that we're best at, we feel, and also that tightens our and highlights our branding. And so
Yep.
therefore the human fly needed to slide into that space.
Of course.
going forward. Now, so with the human fly, as I already expressed, there's multi generations of human fly, and without trying to give too much away, and it's important that I don't.
Yep. Yep.
Um, in the first, um, let me put it this way: the human fly towards the end of issue 4 went into his little archives, and he started looking through, and you could see things in his archives that was not 19 not 2020s, not 1970s. We're talking about like medieval armor. We're talking
Oh,
about, I mean, there's stuff there, right?
yep. Yep.
And
That's really cool.
yeah, and so you get a hint even in that middle ground stuff. So what we got is we got a story where um, the human fly in a slightly earlier form. So you could almost say there's four and a half incarnations of the human
Ooh.
fly represented here. But the human fly has his first encounter with Dracula, and is virtually dead as a result of it.
Oh, okay.
And there's a
Come on,
great
Jay.
deal.
Spoiler alert.
I'm not saying any more than that. I'm not saying any more than that. I've got to be so careful.
Yep.
Although I'm the boss, so
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
so anyway, uh, that uh, that human fly incarnation uh, wants to annihilate, survives and wants to annihilate Dracula, and
Mm-hmm.
the scene shifts from Europe to the United States.
Yep.
The proper first incarnation there, where the big storyline is during the American Revolution, 1770s.
Oh, okay.
And the story continues beyond that. Then it goes to American Civil War. So Dracula
Mm-hmm.
meets the human fly 80 years later in the American Civil War.
Wow.
And then it progresses forward to 1920s, Great Depression, Roaring Twenties, and we actually have a situation where you've got a female human uh, human fly,
Oh,
um,
that's really cool.
but in an unusual way. So you'll find that
Oh,
out.
okay. Oh,
Um, and
you need to find out, people.
and then it jumps to 1970s, where there's more or less a type of conclusion, which again I can't talk about.
Of
So
course.
that we so that's four, but doesn't include the 2020s.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
But
Yep.
there may be a scene or two where the 2020s human fly is looking back to the history of those previous four.
Ah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So so that's gives you a bit of an idea of the incarnation of the human fly. So look, I mean, we're excited. And look, and what we're really excited about in terms of the human fly is that as long as people want this, as long as it sells, as long as it's good, we have got an unlimited universe ahead of us to write any stories at any time frame
Of
with a human
course. Yeah,
fly in
you
it.
would.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love all different versions of the of characters. So I'm
Now, if
loving this
people
idea.
visit our Kickstarter, we've got 4 pages or 5 pages from the 1770s already done, and it's
Yep.
there for people to see. So that gives you a feel of what the 1770s human fly is like.
Oh, nice.
Um, Dracula is definitely shown there, believe me. Also, Peter, who did the drawings, the concept drawings.
Yep.
Now, he's got three of them showing there. He's got the 1770s, the 1860s, and the 1920s. He's got drawings of all three there, so people can get a feel for what they look like.
Oh,
I
cool.
should point out, though, that these are concept drawings, so the 1770s is pretty much it because we've already got the comic being done. But
Yep.
the
Yep.
other two could slightly change, right?
Oh, of course. Of course.
But yeah, go into the Kickstarter and have a look, because we've got a lot of material there for people to see and get an idea of what it's going to look like.
Yeah, and I should note, you've just reminded me, we've made a short link so you don't have to write that really big, long Kickstarter link. So, thehumanfly.net, that will take you to the Kickstarter. We made that just special for you, Gerry.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
yeah, so that'll take you straight to the Kickstarter. So, for anyone who has to type it in, that's the way to get there. We'll also have the link in the comments as well, or in the description, for anyone who just wants to click over to it.
Yep.
I guess you've answered that question as well. Like, where was that? Yeah, this is so awesome moment, without spoiling it, because if maybe the most awesome moment was this part you can't talk about. Um, so I guess what I'd probably ask next is, for old school fans of the Human Fly, what are they going to experience here? You reckon?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for us, it was critical to capture much of the spirit of the Human Fly from the original 70s
Mm-hmm.
um, as possible. May I say that the franchise owners obviously wanted that too.
Oh, of
Um,
course they would. Yeah.
uh, I mean, it's there. So this is an important point to make, and that is that I mean, many of our comics are original, but in this particular case, it was us having taken over the license to use the Human Fly, where in the 70s Marvel had that license.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
so, but anyway, there are certain intrinsic traits about the Human Fly that you don't want to mess around with from the 1970s. But what you
Mm-hmm.
can do is you can enhance, modernize, and of
Mm-hmm.
course add different settings and storyline.
Yeah.
Um, so, I mean, there are some things like one, the Human Fly never ever shows his face. That's what made him quite unique too.
Oh,
You got,
yeah.
I mean, if you got God, any masked superhero, you'd see his face in the comics.
Yeah,
Uh,
somewhere along the line they'll take the
yeah, I
mask
mean,
off.
there may be exceptions I can't think of, but certainly the Human Fly is one of them. I mean, that's what
Mm-hmm.
made him unique. One of the things that made him unique, and that is, and then the reason why is because in real life he never showed his face.
Yeah,
So it was
that's
important to
awesome.
keep that continuity going. Um, yes, he's got an offsider, Mercury, but Mercury changes. So he had a male offsider in the 1970s. He's got a female offsider in 2025.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Um, the costume. Um, Keep in mind, he's a Canadian superhero, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when I say Canadian, we don't know how far back before he wasn't Canadian, but certainly for a long period of time, and that will be revealed, by the way, in maybe the second Kickstarter. Well, we're having two Kickstarters, one and then another one following it. But
Oh, nice.
there'll be maybe some clues as to when he became Canadian. But
Oh,
so his red, the red and white
yeah.
colours are Canadian.
Yep.
Um,
Canadian flag. Yeah.
so his costume can't dramatically vary from the basics of the red and white and the full mask.
Yep.
So that's another thing. He's very the guy is um, he's a stuntman, and some of the earlier incarnations, you will sort of get the idea that his when he's not fighting evil, he's doing something that's very athletic. So maybe he was
Oh,
like a
okay.
circus performer, gymnast, a
Yep.
court jester, maybe in the medieval era.
Oh, interesting.
Um, that sort of thing. So his background of having being extremely athletic as part of his normal day job, if you want to call it that, that carries through.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a stuntman in the 2020, so that he hasn't let go of that one from the 70s. And he's stoic. The guy has gone through most of the time. They have accidents like you wouldn't believe it, and they're
Oh,
indestructible in the
yeah.
sense that they jump back and come back, and they won't. They'll never say die. But on the other hand, there's a bit of reconstruction going on. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
there would be. There would be. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're stoic in many
Mm-hmm.
ways. So yeah, those are the traits. and and
Yep.
and, and that's what I think the people who lapped up the human fly in the 1970s wanted.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I loved.
yeah, so
I
so
loved it
so
up.
that's there.
I
That's
was a
not
huge
changed.
fan. Yeah.
But there are other things that
No,
add
I
to
wasn't
it,
big.
and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, we'll jump into the Kickstarter now. I'm not showing it, but
yeah.
what is the coolest reward? What should people be looking at? Is it the book? Is there like a big bundle? Is there?
Am I allowed to do it in parts? This answer in parts.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
Okay, I mean
sure.
there is one. Many Kickstarters have like a crazy one in it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Well,
talking about.
our crazy one is that Jim Kruger basically said, I think it was either two or three or four. I forget now. You have to go and have a look. But he is
Yep.
willing, if someone's willing to support the Kickstarter in a big way, big money,
Yep.
he's willing to have a one-on-one session and
Oh
uh,
wow.
and talk about stuff like, hey, what is it that you are doing, person who's paid this money? I'll give you some really good tips on how to do it really, really well. In other words, it's almost like a lesson in legendary script writing. Uh,
Oh, that's awesome.
so that's probably the big one, and that's. But I mean, you've got to be crazy super keen, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Which is
we've
everyone.
got. Sorry.
Which is everyone. We all want to
Yeah,
be that person.
yeah. It all comes down to whether you got the cash or not. We've already used up one category. Oh no,
Oh,
although I
okay.
think we maybe have added two, and that is draw in. We're willing to draw in people who pay
Oh,
money.
that's always a cool one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, with the matron, the previous one, we didn't just have draw in; we had killed by. Um, so not only you drawn in, but
Nice.
you're murdered in a horrible, awful way. Um,
And there's
but
people who love that stuff. They love to be killed in horrible ways and show their friends in the comic. This is me getting killed.
they are the first to go.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so there is we actually started with four and we already got four. I think we might have added another two. Can't do much more than that.
No. No.
Um, Now we also have an all-in bundle as well. Now what we do is uh, what that means is that you get a whole bunch of stuff. You get the main comic, which is really like a little graphic novel because it's the equivalent of two issues of comic. So it's about 50
Oh,
odd
cool.
pages, right?
Giant size.
Um, and But we've got a variant cover that's already available. With the matron, we did a variant cover with foil,
Oh, nice.
and no kidding, it's just blows your mind when you see the foil.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, we're going to do multicolored foil on the variant.
Oh, wow.
Now, if it can't exactly be done with foil, we may go UV
Yep.
spotting,
Yep. Yep.
but we're going to try foil, and we'll just see how that technically can go. Um, so like the eyes of Dracula will be like shiny, bright
Oh,
foil,
nice.
that sort of thing. So that's a really cool thing. The other thing too is we are planning to force two supernovas, Adelaide and Brisbane supernovas. We're planning
Mm-hmm.
to put together an ash can version
Oh,
of the
okay.
comic, so about 10 pages or so.
Mm-hmm.
It's just classic ash can. Now, normally ash cans are only given away or sold cheap at conventions.
Yep.
But what we're going to do is when we produce it, we're going to have a limited number made, and they'll be signed probably with Jim Kruger's signature and others,
Oh, nice.
uh, and that's a reward, but also will be given as part of the collected. I buy everything.
Oh, the bundle. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, if enough money is given to us through Kickstarter, we may get another variant cover, and
Okay.
can't tell you who it is.
Oh,
But
secret.
let's just put it this way: notable US cover artist.
Oh, nice. So it's not me, ladies and gentlemen. Um,
So yeah, so look, we're excited by that too. I mean, there's a lot. Oh yeah, one more thing I'll mention. We came up with an idea. Now a lot of people who do Kickstarters will have sometimes trading cards
Oh,
involved.
yep, yep, yep. I've seen those.
What we've done is we've said, okay, we'll go one step further. Um, what we've been producing comics since March last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we absolutely have produced more than one comic and sold through US, North America, and world comic stores, uh, and more than one a month. Right?
Oh, that's awesome.
We're doing really well there now. Um, for every comic that we produce, whether it's Kickstarter or not, for each issue equivalent, so 20 odd pages, we produce one or one point something cards. Uh, and we're numbering them from the very first to
Oh,
forever. Now, um, the this version of the Kickstarter, sorry, this equivalent to two issues, will be
yep.
producing three cards, and they will be part of the reward process.
Mm-hmm.
But they are actually numbers 46, 47, and 48 of our sequence of cards. Now we've produced 500 of each card and no more.
Oh, nice. Collector's
Um,
items.
so they become collector's items and they're sequenced. So, Hayden Fryer, the Bristlemouth
Yep, yep, yep,
comic?
yep.
Yeah, that came up with, I think, six cards. That was numbers 1 to 6
Oh,
in
okay.
March
They were the
last.
first ones. Yep. Cool.
Yeah, and we want them to be collectors. So we will sell them. Like we're even selling the entire 48 in one as a add-on if you
Oh,
want to buy
nice.
it. And some people have done that.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
or you automatically get one card with your purchase of the comic, but you
Yep.
can for a few bucks you get the other two cards.
Oh, cool.
Uh, but also at conventions, we're just going to have a few that we will give away. We'll just do this, that, and the other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, it becomes a collector's thing.
Yeah, that's really wicked. That's really
Mm.
cool. I like that. Um, you've answered that question.
I go
Okay. Oh,
all over
yeah.
the place.
We've talked about the old fans. Now, how are we keeping the old fans and the new readers happy at the same time?
Okay. So I've talked about the old fans already.
Yep, yep, exactly. So,
Now, with the new fans, it's linked very closely to my earlier conversation with you about our branding.
oh yes.
Um, Now, um, and look, I'll be honest with you. I'll give you some I suppose behind the scenes insight. I suppose you could call it that.
Mm-hmm.
We've already produced like 4 or 5 comic series. We've sold a lot of comics, and some sell better than others.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say to you that uh, anything that it's superhero doesn't sell as well as non-superhero for
Oh,
us.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Um, Now we have one particular comic series running called Sherlock Holmes Dark Detective,
Oh, yep.
and Volume 1 came out, issues 1 to 4, and Volume 2 is already on sale, starting to be on sale, and that's issues 5 to 9, so it's 5 issues.
Yep.
And there's also a standalone that's going to appear at the end. So we're going to end up with 10 issues, 10 comics of
Yep.
Sherlock Holmes Dark Detective, two big storylines and a standalone. Now, I can honestly say to you that they have outsold any of our comics in the
Oh,
USA.
wow, that's amazing.
And we believe that it's because of a combination of some people like, it's three things. People like historical stuff.
Yes.
People like iconic stuff. Sherlock Holmes is an absolute icon.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Um, and the third thing is they like mashups. So what we did was we mashed up Sherlock Holmes with darker storylines than what Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote about.
Yep,
I
yep,
mean,
yep.
The Hound of the Baskervilles is the closest thing to dark, right?
Okay.
So those three combos, and we thought that's us. That's sort of like us, right? We would, at our best, and when we're pure IPI comics, we'd be doing two of those three, or all three, at any given stage in the future.
Makes sense.
So, so with the human fly in its newest incarnation, we've got the history, historical side, and we've
Very
got
much
the
so.
iconic. The iconic being Dracula,
Yes. Yes. I
and
makes sense. Total sense now.
yeah, and it's a mashup.
And it's a mashup. Gotta love a mashup. Gotta
Yeah.
love good
So
mashups.
so what we've got is the recipe for what we think modern readers want, and that's how we balanced
I
the
like
old
it.
and the new.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Got so everyone should be happy. Everyone should be happy. Come on, people.
Oh,
Support the
look,
Kickstarter.
and you said before that I've sort of covered off the wow factor.
Yeah, you
Um,
did.
I can honestly say to you, just to reiterate that point, that I mean I've read the first script of four. I've read the first
Hmm.
script. Chris has read the second script. Um, and look, I'm a writer as well, and um, I know good writing when I see it. I know good
Hmm.
script writing when I see it, and I can honestly say to you that Jim Kruger delivered to his legendary best in that. So the
That's
stuff
awesome.
that's in there, it isn't just a story about the human fly in 1776 fighting Dracula. It's it's epic in scope. It covers uh, very, very deep uh, emotional things about revenge, about human condition of, of of recovering from disaster. It's all of that stuff. It is some of the best script writing I've ever read,
Oh wow,
uh,
that's awesome.
and I would argue that that literally is the wow factor in my mind
Well,
of
that
what
would be.
this comic
That would
is.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the guy who wrote Earth X and Justice, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I read that. Um, and that answers the other question I was going to ask. Is this like a one shot? But you've just said two scripts, so it's obviously not a one shot. Um, and I guess is it something bigger? Are we talking if this moves forward, when it moves forward, I should say? Are we talking more than just Dracula? Are we talking?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely, and conditionally though.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
okay, so the first point to make, and I want to make this so clear to anyone who's interested in the crowdfunding, is that uh, we have chosen to use crowdfunding because not because we are short of cash,
Mm-hmm.
although everyone's short of cash, but you know what I
Well, yeah.
mean. We could just go straight to comic stores with this, but the trouble is we'd be doing it in about a year or two from now. We run multiple projects, and the reason why we run multiple projects is because we're so friggin' excited by all the projects that we have that
That's
we
awesome.
don't want to make it serial and do it one after the other.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
so we genuinely believe that Kickstarter is an effective way for us to enable us to speed up some projects. Now,
Cool.
in the process of doing that, we really felt that it was important that we give value to every dimension of how we distribute and produce our product. So with the Kickstarter, we know that most people who buy comics in Kickstarter tend not to go crazy buying them from comic stores. They prefer indie
Yeah.
stuff, and it's the same the other way around. So therefore, we do see that as two separate, almost two separate reader groups.
Yep. Yep.
Um, but one real advantage of us is that we are lucky enough to have Luna and Diamond, wherever Diamond may be, um, uh, as our distributor. So we got
Yep.
6,000 comic stores see our catalog, right?
Wow.
So we got that covered. Um, but we are at the same time an indie comic producer. We don't produce the sort of stuff that DC, Marvel,
Yep.
IDW
Yep.
would
Yep.
want to produce. And so we're sort of in between. And
Yep.
so for the Kickstarter, what we can do is we can give these amazing rewards. You know, the ash can, the variant cover, all those, the cards.
Yeah, that's really
No
cool.
one's going to get that in a comic store. No one.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And so therefore, there we are available in Kickstarter. Now, I made this a long story. I apologize for that.
No, no,
But
no.
but leading to that is that so what we're doing is that this storyline with Dracula is set in four different time frames and it's four different issues. So it's four issues.
Oh, okay.
However,
Yep.
however, for Kickstarter, we're putting issue one and two together,
Oh, okay. I get you now. Yep.
and we're doing a second Kickstarter after this, which will put three and four together, the
Together.
conclusion.
I understand now. Yes.
Now, as soon as that's finished, it's going out to comic stores, issue one, 2 months later, issue two, issue three, issue four. But
How cool is that?
it's going to be nothing like what people are going to get in the Kickstarter, because in the Kickstarter they're going to have a little graphic novel that's got two issues plus a whole load of pardon the French good shit in it. Um,
Nice,
and
nice. I love it.
that's just not going to be in the comics. So, and then when that's all finished, then maybe we'll produce like all four issues into a commercial graphic novel as well.
Oh, nice.
Now,
Cool.
each one is a separate group of people, really.
Mhm.
Now, if the Kickstarter goes well, for those two Kickstarters go well, plus the uptake in the comic stores goes well,
Yep.
then we will be more than happy to go for another four issues, and hey, the
I get
sky's the
you now.
limit. Sky's the
Yeah,
limit.
of course, of course. If there's the demand. Yes, I get you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, of course. And there will be. Come on, people. Support the Kickstarter. That's my job. So, yes. Well, actually, because you've answered all the questions all together, I'm actually
yeah,
at my last question already.
yep.
And this is just your chance to give us your pitch. Why should people support this Kickstarter?
Okay. Um, I sort of I think I'm echoing a lot of what we already talked about.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually.
I mean, look. To be honest with you, look, I've done lots of comics now already, even since only
Mhm.
since March last year, but lots of comics, and I can honestly say to you that at this point in time, in terms of just the excitement factor, uh, this product is the perfect wave. It's the perfect wave. You've got Jim Kruger, who's the best, one of the best script writers there is in the business. He
Yeah.
was not only did he do X and Justice, but he was also for something like 10 years the creative director of Marvel during the '80s. Right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, this guy really knows his business, and so he's given to us the ultimate script. And I
Sweet.
don't know how it happened, but we found a homegrown, available um, talent in terms of drawing and inking in Peter
Yep.
Lawson and the rest of the team as well. Um, so it's really the perfect wave. And you're going to get two issues. You're going to get all that stuff, those
Yeah.
goodies that I
Cool stuff.
mentioned to you, and you just can't lose. And so therefore, support us, because if you support us, you're going to get more of the same, and,
Yes.
and it's going to
Nice.
be worth it.
Yep. Yep. I like
Yeah.
it. So go to that link down the bottom or click on the link in the description. Go to the Kickstarter. You know you want to support this. Come on. Dracula and the Human Fly. You can't go wrong.
Absolutely.
So, thank you, Gerry. This has been great talking to you.
Not a
This
problem.
is Sis on the Kickstart Your Week, and this is us telling you all about the Human Flying Dracula, which is awesome. Support it.
Thank
Get
you.
out there. Thank you very much. See you, everyone.
Bye.